medicinal cannabis on MS sufferers and people with epilepsy and chemo patients, dealing with nausea, terminal cancer patients looking for pain relief, those people suffering post-traumatic stress disorder. Where is your research at here?
There's quite a bit of evidence that is across the line, particularly in those areas you've mentioned. There's been a mountain of paperwork and research done, but there's conclusive evidence in about 4 areas. The main areas are chronic pain, MS, drug-resistant epilepsy, and nausea and cancer-related chemo. On top of that, there are 2 that are very close, PTSD and palliative care, that federally they're already approving prescriptions for.
Is it possible? I mean, demand is going to grow very quickly because a lot of people will think that this will be able to help them. Is it possible that it can't live up to the expectation of the community?
Potentially. Different things work for different people, and it's certainly not a golden bullet for all diseases, for all people. But for a certain portion of patients where there are no other treatment options, they have tried a number of other medications and pharmaceuticals. In some cases, this may be of benefit.
My guest on the program is Paul Mavor. We're very keen to speak to a doctor about it today. There are only a few prescribing doctors, and we were told by this doctor, look, I would talk to you, but I can't afford to open the floodgates of patients coming to see me for a prescription just because they might have heard me on your show. This doctor said it's such a protracted and time-consuming process to get authorisation and to ensure the patient meets criteria. The thought of even more patients coming to me is unfathomable. I see 10 to 12 such patients per week. That criteria for patients, do you know much about that, Paul?
Yeah, a little bit. They need to have tried a lot of other different medications. They need, in some cases, to have psychiatric evaluation, be evaluated for addictiveness, assessed by, in some cases, a specialist. There's a lot of hoops, and some of the specialists have got a wait list of up to 18 months, so it's a very arduous process. And one doctor I know equated it to like a game show where chronically ill patients have to overcome a series of obstacles and very few get to the end.
From your point of view, what stands in the way of this process being more effectively streamlined? And indeed, you know, who makes those determinations on behalf of the situation in West Australia? Is it a committee within the Department of Health?
Certainly, there's a committee formed by the WA Department of Health that have got 13 members, and they meet once a month. We're told that there's a number of different conflicting opinions on that committee, and every single application has to go through that committee. If you look at somewhere like Victoria, they've got a 1-page online form which is dealt with under delegation, generally within 24 hours. The WA Health Department committee seems to take a lot longer than that.
Any reason for them taking such a long time? Or are there, and I'll hear this from the this game who don't care that this is going to take quite a while to become something bigger?
I'm not sure if anyone's got any conflicting interest, but certainly a committee of 13 people that meets once a month is going to delay the process. I don't believe they met at all in January, despite there being several patients waiting to get through the system. People still get sick, and there's this big committee as a hurdle, as well as all the paperwork that they have to overcome to get through the process.
Paul, thank you for talking to me. Paul Mavor is part of an organisation that does research, the Medical